So we just got a first look of the Rachel Zegler Disney live action Snow White image. Disney is clearly panicking right now as there were some very visible changes that they have made, which I will show you here in a second. And not only that, but a delay as well. 2025. What would spark that kind of delay? I guess we'll see. All right, so here we have, I'm just first going to show you the picture and then we're going to talk more from there. This first look at Snow White starring Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot in theaters March 21st, 2025. Now, here's the most obvious thing that we've noticed from this image. See how the dwarves, they are all CGI. They changed it because if you remember, they had a very diverse cast of dwarves. They did the Disney thing, right? They did the Panderverse thing, as we keep seeing the term from all the South Park stuff. They did the Panderverse thing. And is it Panderverse or Pandaverse? I don't know. Anyway, they did that. And they had like a cast of people who weren't even dwarves. I think there was one actual little person there because, I don't know, apparently, we all know what happened with Peter Dinklage, who kind of kicked the ladder after he climbed up to the top, saying that, you know, oh, you shouldn't use people with dwarfism for roles of dwarves and things like that, or leprechauns or this, that, or the other, because, oh my goodness, that's insensitive. And so, meanwhile, people who actually have dwarfism have come forward to say, what the crap, dude, you're taking away our roles. What are we supposed to do now? And so, yeah, they had that cast. I want to say they even had didn't they have a girl dwarf originally as well? Like not even a girl regular person who they were going to make look like a dwarf. I don't know. But they had a very different looking cast. Now, as we can see, they're all CGI. They're all recognizable as the dwarves that we remember from the Disney cartoon, which obviously this is a step in the right direction to make them recognizable. I mean, if it would have been nice if they actually used live action dwarves and just made them recognizable. But alas, this is better than what we were going to get, but it's just, it's not enough. It's just not enough. But I'm trying to see if I can remember who all is. There's why am I forgetting all the dwarf names? Dopey was my favorite. That must be Doc. That must be Happy. Okay, anyway, let's just move forward. Anyway, they are a lot more recognizable, but is she sitting down? She is sitting down. I was going to say, because she does not look much taller. Unfortunately, I think, I don't know if there's any salvaging this, just given, even if they make a bunch of changes, which is probably going to happen given the massive, colossal delay there. I just don't see this actually redeeming itself because of A, Rachel Zegler, first of all, doesn't look the part, and B, she's insufferable. People do not like her because of her interviews and stuff. And I know Bounding Into Comics just made like a video talking about how Rachel Zegler, she thinks she's getting all this hate just because she's outspoken, just because she has opinions. No, it's not because she has opinions. It's because she comes across as entitled, as arrogant, as a jerk. That's going to happen. Same thing happened with Brie Larson and why people didn't like her. And they just give off this very opposite of charming air in their interviews. And yeah, and I think that this is also, I mean, if you just look at anything Rachel Zegler has touched, it has been failing. Just been failing. And, you know, it's not because, oh, she has opinions. It's that she is insufferable. I mean, look at how she disrespected the source material. Weird. Talking about the prince was creepy? Really? You're going to completely disrespect the source material of what you're working on? Oh, yeah, we had to change some things. They had to do more, we had to give this a whole story a girl power treatment because, you know, the originals from the 30s and you could tell. for how many times Snow White gets the girl power treatment is just insane to me. And I am the first to tell everybody I love girl power stuff. I got Claymore right here. I've got Lara Croft right here. I also have Lara Croft there, which you can't see because of the depth of field. And I have Witchblade right here. Like, I love girl power. Don't get me wrong. I just like it when it's done right and when they don't transform something to force it to be something that it originally wasn't. I also like stories of sweet women who are good with who everybody adores, including animal creatures, because she's just that sweet and walks into houses and cleans them. And her prince finds her. That's wonderful. And that's one thing I don't understand is when they're just like, oh, what are girls going to get out of this story? What are girls going to, we wanted to go this whole girl power leadership angle because we want girls to walk away from this and be like, yeah, I can be a leader and I can be this. What's wrong with little girls watching the original Snow White and being like, oh, look, here's a good example of a very sweet and kind and loving woman. Like, why can't they want to be like that? Was that a problem? I guess so. Anyway, the memes. Oh no. Why is homie so far from the group hug? He's not even grumpy. Grumpy would be the one far away from the group hug. So yeah, people are like, oh gosh, this looks wow, and not a good wow. People are not receptive to this. I think it's just kind of too little too late here. So let's see what they have said on this Variety article, if there's anything new that there is to add. They said Disney has unveiled a first look at the upcoming live action remake of Snow White. In a new image, Rachel Zegler is transformed into the iconic Disney princess. Yes, yeah. Okay, we already know Gal Gadot is the evil queen. All right, originally released in the 30s. We know this. They had to really come up with some filler writing to make an article out of this. So anyway, yeah, this is a bunch of nothing article. Okay, so basically what we're shown is this image, and we know that it is being delayed. Now, Disney is just kind of in trouble right now, and I'm surprised it's taken this long for them to kind of become at least a little bit self-aware. But I also think that the South Park episode, the Pandaverse South Park episode, definitely did not help their cause. But it's just like, even though I do think it's great that the South Park episode did what it did, and I was contemplating making a video on it, I went ahead and didn't. I feel like even so, at this point that South Park did it, we've already been talking about this. We already been frustrated with this for a while now. So yes, it's cool. It's cool to see South Park just frame it in a way that it just makes it so the perspective of having it from these kids, right? And just like, why are you race swapping Cartman? Why is Cartman a black woman now? and that's, and then the principal just being like, hey, what, you don't like black women now? The whole gaslighting thing, things like that. I talked about it on a Side Scrollers podcast today. But yeah, and to just show it at that angle, it just showed how ridiculous it looks for people, even the companies themselves who are making this stuff, to gaslight people and call you a racist or a sexist or this, that, or the other, because you don't like to see your characters that you like, be transformed and changed beyond recognition and to not even be the same. So it's funny seeing it so put into such a literal perspective there instead of just being on Twitter or something. It just shows how ridiculous it really is. So that was cool. But I will say, dude, they could have done this a long time ago. Now they do it when everybody's already been fed up with this stuff. But hey, better late than never, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Disney has stepped in dookie. They're going to have to do something. And Snow White's probably just going to be DOA. Unless you want to reshoot it with a different actress, it's just no. I would rather watch the Brett Cooper one, in which that she also just did an interview recently, I think, or has come out to say, because some people were just like, oh, is this Brett Cooper Snow White? Is this going to be a MAGA Republican political thing? Because, she is affiliated with Daily Wire, which is a very political thing and all this kind of stuff. And she has said, no, this is a we wanted to bring Snow White to life and the charm of Snow White. This isn't a political story. So I do like that. That's the thing, is when it comes to recreating things that have already existed, I don't want to see a political angle added to it that was not previously there, even if it's a political angle that I would agree with or something. It's just like, sometimes just let stories be stories, please. Can we just have fun stories that don't all have to have a political angle or some sort of, political message that they're trying to push on people? It's just refreshing just to see a story be a story. So anyway, there you have it for today's video. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to read your Bible today, or if you want to hear/see me read the Bible to you, you can do that on my Bible channel, Bible Time with Melanie Mack. Thank you all again. I will catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.